friends, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I will be reviewing the taboo list that I put out a couple of months ago to see if I've even read any of them, and in a vlog to come I will be reading some of them, my priority ones. So let's hop into it. Hopefully I've actually read some things that I said I'm going to read. Hi friends, I'm not too optimistic about it. Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to review the 22 dark or taboo romances that I want to read by the end of the year. So the first book that is probably the highest of priorities on this list is Still Beating. So I have actually read Still Beating. I read it for, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like something about reading the darkest romances I could find. So we can check that off. Lords of Pain, which is a reverse harem story, and I believe Lords of Pain I did read. I think I read it, I don't think I didn't do it in a specific video, but I didn't like it very much. I think I DNF'd it like 50-ish% of the way through. It's interesting. It's interesting. I didn't necessarily DNF it for like the obvious reasons of like the intense bullying and like non-con. It just like wasn't doing everything that I wanted it to do. Sick Fucks, which I've heard is one of the darkest books people have ever read. It might be trauma porn for the sake of it. I actually did read Sick Fucks in the same video that I read Still Beating, so I loved it. It was fantastic. Untouchable, which is probably the most divisive book that I have on this. I then read Untouchable in the same video as well. I didn't really like it. I think I gave it 2 stars. Not, again, for the obvious reasons. It just was an entire mess, and I had a lot of thoughts. We then have Deliver, which is part of a pretty long series, and if I remember, I then read Deliver in the same video. I did enjoy it. I'm not a huge captor-captive person, but it was like good for a captor-captive because like any Pam Godwin you give me is gonna be good. A couple of Pepper Winters books, notably Tears of Tess. I have read Pepper Winters. I read Tears of Tess, another captor-captive. I think I gave it 2 or 3 stars. Not a huge fan. I didn't dislike the writing. I just am not, this whole like sex trafficking captor-captive thing is just kind of boring for me, and I never find that any of them are like super thrilling, which sounds very odd because you would think that the premise would be, but like once you've read one, I feel like you've read them all. We have The Truth About Heartbreak. This is the first Be Celeste that I read The Truth About Heartbreak a while ago. I don't know when. I think I read it for a 24-hour readathon. I really enjoyed it. I thought the angst level was perfect. It's like a sibling something or other, adopted sibling. I really enjoyed it. All Things Burn, which sounds taboo-ish. I read All Things Burn several months ago as well. It is a hit man and his like person that he's supposed to be killing, I think, or no, she hires him and they have a romance. It was good. It was like a 3-star. Private Eye, which is about a guy. I read Private Eye, kind of the same premise. She is a cam girl, he is working for the agency, and they have to work together to bring down an arms dealer that uses her website. And I enjoyed it. I gave it about a 3-star. I love the relationship, dominating heroine, soft hero, and I just didn't really like the other components to the story. It switched to points of view that I just didn't really want to follow. We have Praise, which I would like to read all of the books in. I have not read Praise. I have kind of been putting it off because I was concerned that I wouldn't love it. I've found that I'm not really liking like the more smuttier books, like the books that are coming out that are just all sex. I'm finding I'm not really enjoying them as much. So I have high hopes for Praise because like who doesn't love praise kink and age gap and ex-boyfriend's dad or whatever, but I'm nervous. We have Don't Tell Me No. I did read Don't Tell Me No. This is about a woman who gets sold to her husband's boss. It was hot. It was sweet. And it's a short little sapphic novella. It's pretty good. Good Girl, which I think is again another one where her husband or something owes a debt. I haven't read The Good Girl. I was planning to read it this year, but I couldn't find it anywhere to read it, and like, because I'm not huge, like I'm not massively into novellas, I don't want to spend the money on something that's probably going to be like a 3-star. What Are the Odds, which I have heard. What Are the Odds I did try, however they hook up like 30% of the way through, and I DNF'd it because that's just not really my thing. I never really enjoy those. We have Ante Up. I haven't read Ante Up. I don't think this is Mafia. I was thinking of another book by her, I think, but I do want to read the darker book that she's put out because I enjoy her contemporaries, but they always just miss a little bit of like the spice that I'm looking for. And then we have Fit, which is another book. I have not read Fit by Rebecca Weatherspoon yet. I do know this is about a BDSM club. I don't necessarily know why I put it on the taboo list, but I have not read this yet. So that was a quick little review of that. Gonna be about as long as the actual video itself was. So I do have some books that I can read that I haven't read yet. So you'll have to watch out for that vlog to see my feelings on the ones that I have not read. But overall, I did a pretty good job. This is how many I read out of how many I didn't read. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on any of the books that I read, or you think I should try some other books by some of these authors. If you don't have anything to say, leave a black heart down in the comments. If you are looking for more content from me, make sure you check out my Instagram and my podcast Instagram. Check out my podcast. It is a horror podcast. It's on all your favorite streaming platforms. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next one.